Well, I gotta leave the door in about 15 minutes here. I thought I'd come on, do a quickie. Barry, my boy, I think the immigration has a good idea what's going on. What a sore loser you are. So, you're in this really terrible situation, and you think by doing shit like this is gonna make your situation better. Better think twice about that. Yes, I think people are aware what's going on, Barry. And I think the immigration is aware of what's going on. Mr. No News. Now turning into Mr. No Neck. Okay. Gee, surprise. Surprised there's an immigration issue going on created by his girlfriend and him. Big news. Or is it? I could just imagine him without the use of his cell phone. And if you want to see him fall apart, well, you won't see him because he won't be on. And I'm waiting for that day to happen because once that cell phone, his communication devices are gone and they gain a little bit of control of him, the guards and so forth, they don't want to lose their jobs. If the big guys in immigration says, hey, you better control this situation, that's exactly what they're going to have to do. Wouldn't you say so, Barry boy? What would you do without your phone? You'd really fall apart. You'd eat a hell of a lot more, and you'll explode like an overfed goldfish. Well, let me show you something interesting. Can you guys read this? Mm-hmm. You know, he originally has an order. Uh, Basically, it's like really the Department of Corrections. I hereby commit you, Percival Barley, John, for the Regional Child Court member in Burley. He already has an order to go to prison. Okay, so let's see if I can get back to this. Let's get that focused in a little bit, just a little bit. This was a signed order actually from a judge over in Burley where he was supposed to be transported. It still goes. I mean, the paper's still there. So they actually have an order for him to go to prison. It just has to be executed. So anyway, just thought I'd kind of bring that up. Oh, what's this thing about Quasimodo doesn't play with toys? Are you sure about that? What would you call that Xbox? You're 50 years old. You're playing with an Xbox. He's playing with. Yeah, I'm a real man. I don't play with toys. Really? When did this start? I've never seen a grown man, a grown-ass man of 50 years old playing with Xboxes. I don't know. You'd think YouTube would be enough. He's got away with that for a while anyway. But playing with an Xbox. Well, I guess you've got to exercise your mind somehow. Because you truly will go crazy, but I think he's beyond that point, in my opinion. Oh, something else. Although I have it written down, it'd be hard to read. I'm not doing this. I'm not on my laptop. I'm going to do a split screen or anything like that. There is a literature that says, as far as the Bureau of Immigration is concerned, if you didn't commit a grave crime of any sort, and you're not a long-term overstayer, they call it simple crimes. They're not going to deport you. You probably would be stuck with a 50,000 peso fine of sorts. And if it went over a year, you'd be responsible for another 50,000 each year. In his case, like 7 years. That's 350,000 on that alone. But then there's other papers, ACR fines and all that other stuff. Hello, Besser. Yeah, he's pissed off. He don't know what's going on, really. Playing Xbox Online is something certain types do to meet children. Oh, really? Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I don't know, he's over there waiting for me to be arrested or something. Now, he's doing something even more illegal. Every time he puts a show on, he's doing more and more stuff that's illegal. Again, he's inciting people. First it was for murder and death and damage to me. Now he's inciting others to go call the immigration. And he talks about snitches. He calls me a snitch. But wait a minute. What is he doing? He's snitching. He's probably the biggest snitch on here. Yeah. I don't know who comes off more desperate, Barry or his loyal suckers. Yeah, I get you. As I said, an ECC, exit clearance. What a dumbbell. How am I supposed to leave the country? Oh, you better get out of the country. You better clear out. Well, when they tell you that until the situation is settled, they make a determination on this, how are you going to leave the country? You're going to get kicked out. How do you get kicked out without an ECC, a clearance? Boy, if that boy had half a brain, he might be dangerous, but you got to have a clearance to leave the country. And if they're saying that, until a resolution is figured out, they can't allow you to leave the country. You can't leave the country. They're not going to kick you out of the country because you don't have an exit clearance. Does that make sense to you guys? Well, it's a him, Mike, the way his brain thinks. No. Can't kick you out if they didn't make a decision. As far as simple overstay, as some of his comment, I seen some of his show. Part of it anyway. Had some chores to take care of, but heard enough. He was crying like a bitch again. I don't know. San Securito, hello again. It's standard practice of visa exemption for legal and medical matters. He is dumber than dirt. Yeah. Master Puppet says, I've seen people telling him facts, and he thinks he knows it all. He's a lawyer now. Bureau of Immigration know-it-all? LOL, how many times did he actually visit immigration? Mm-hmm. Why Americans leave Europe alone? We are all I don't know what you're talking about. How are they going to deport you if you ain't got an exit clearance? How would I leave the country if I ain't got an exit clearance? The boy's just not thinking, but then that's common practice for him. Seriously. Dumber than a day is long, I'll tell you that. And it must be a long day for this guy. It is written that if you got simple overstay and exit, there are just fines involved with that. You see, until immigration makes their resolution on this, and even if they do, but let's get ahead of the horse. Okay, they're interested, as some of his viewers, some of his intellectual viewers, to say that, pardon me, where was I? I distracted myself there. Okay, yeah, they said, uh, well, let me get where I was at before, actually. And what I actually read this morning was also that unless you committed some heinous crimes or anything like that, they're going to simply give you a 50,000 peso fine if you do go over the ECC. And if your ACR is expired at that time, there's a small fee on the ACR, maybe 1,000, something like that. Yeah, but it says that they are not going to deport foreigners for simple reasons, and they gave a list of 5 different things. They said that if you have a family that you are supporting, children, things like that, that's a consideration. Age is also a consideration. Any medical problems you might have is a consideration. And if you did not commit any, as I said, serious crimes, and it was only because of somebody put a complaint on you about something and said, you hurt my feelings, they're not going to deport you for that. Now, the Bureau of Immigration can make a deportation decision, but that absolutely can be challenged. And as I said, and it's not very well absorbed by Quasimodo at all, there's a lot of things that's not actually absorbed by him. An exit clearance that's not instituted by me, first of all, by means of the fact that they're not allowing me until there's a resolution. So how can they just deport me, number one? Okay. And number 2 on this is if your crimes were not of any horrible nature, and they consider everything I said above, okay, it's not that easy to deport you. And if you're okay, I know where I was going with this. As I said on another show, okay, my thoughts that came back to me. You know, there's a difference, I said, between willing and unwilling. So what he did was 6.5 to 7 years of willing full overstay. In my case, because there was a complaint put on me, they put a hold, right? Hold departure until the resolution is figured out. But the difference is, let's say I didn't renew my visa. Let's say I didn't do my ECC. It's not because I was willing to not abide by those laws and actions. It's because, yes, I'm going to use the word again, it's an administrative decision. It is not mine. It is not mine. They're forcing me not to get certain things done by no will of my own. There's a big difference. Yeah. He asked the guards for immigration advice like asking a train guard how to repair a train. I know. That's funny than shit. San Securito says, it doesn't make sense. Bummer every 2 minutes. Yeah. Master Puppet says, if they give Heidi a 13A visa, I doubt they will deport you. Wishful thinking on Bummer's part. Well, it's complicated, okay, to some people. It's not complicated to me. He willfully overstayed. Booze and cigarettes and chasing ass was more important to him. But he don't play with toys. What do you call an Xbox? Did you see that office setup he's got there? I'm surprised he ain't got a secretary there, too. Oh, Heidi, man. Wow. I don't know how she got in, man. At least, I'm not fond of Heidi at all, but at least she's honest with certain shit. She gets on there because she's absolutely bored. And because she can't afford to live in the United States, and, maybe other reasons having to do with her crimes in the United States, which she went to prison for. Now, some people say, well, she served her time, so she's squeaky clean. But no, it doesn't work that way. Your felony's supposed to follow you no matter where you go. Oh, wait a minute. The other thing I found out that he is illegally getting his SSI. Aha. Let's see. Something to do with a 6 month. Um, he probably did not report at any time that he was living in the Philippines. If he didn't report that he was living in the Philippines, they'll take that Social Security disability away. And I'm going to write them on Monday. I'm going to write them on Monday on that and prove that not only has he been here, but he's got a court case against him and all that shit. But I think that information, already was turned in. Well, I think John Blaze did that. But he shouldn't actually be getting that Social Security disability. He claims to shower every third day. She says it's healthy. Shaw says it's healthy for her hair and skin. Poor George. Oh, God. Look, let me tell you something. When you have that much weight on you, you got a lot of folds of skin. I get that in between my crease of my arm. I'll get a red irritation from sweat and heat rash. I get that often. Shower or no shower, because you imagine when you got folds of blubber like that, she must get a lot of skin infections. I would think so. No, no, no. Every 3 days is not going to suffice for somebody her weight. Oh, no, 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 no. No, no, no. If Bummer's disability is cut off, Shaw will leave him within a few weeks. I wouldn't be surprised. Stefan says absolutely. He cannot get SSDI living outside the... I just read that this morning, in fact, to double check. I just read that this morning. So I'm going to get a hold of the Social Security Administration. I got all this information. I'm going to get a hold of them. See, they're aware of my whereabouts because you have to do that. But I'm not on a disability. I'm on a regular Social Security right now. I'm on regular Social Security. But he's supposed to get cut off on the 6 month fiscal year, 6 months into the fiscal year, get cut off once they know that he has not been living in the country. He would have been cut off. They would give him the leeway of 6 months or something like that. I'm not well read on it, but I do know that if Social Security finds out that he's been living in the Philippines for all this time and didn't report to them, and see what he's doing is his bank account is in America, and probably goes by his family address out there. So they think he's still in Alabama. But if they know or reminded, let's remind him that not only has he been living in the Philippines for about 10 years, but he's also been incarcerated, is on trial for a criminal act. He's going to lose his disability completely. Completely. So he wants to go shout out, give a shout out, the shout out, a shout out, the shout out, and tell everybody to call immigration, say, Frank does not have his ECC. Let's go arrest him. Don't work that way. They know what's going on. It's the immigration. They know how this works. I know how this works. Believe me, I know how it works. A resolution has not been come up with yet, and may not for quite a while. In the meantime, I get to stay here. And then once I do a Court of Appeals, if something don't work my way, I do the Court of Appeals, then you're talking about another long stretch of time. If that didn't work out, just to get a decision from the Court of Appeals. These are things that he thinks he's a lawyer and he thinks he knows everything. Yeah, you can call you have a Social Security Department, the U.S. Embassy, well, even Cebu, but you can call Manila. Yeah, that's all you have to do is call them up and let them know what's going on. Two people could play this game. Imagine if Social Security makes him pay back the 6.5 years he illegally received. Yes, he has been illegally receiving a Social Security check for a long time. His trouble is just beginning, man. After all these years, the mantis still hasn't learned that he can't outsmart me. Well, he tries. Give him credit for that. Give him credit for something, for being a fool, for being a moron, as he says, a moron. Because he is a moron. Did you hear what he said about me in that last show? He called me every name in the book again. When does the boy learn? That's what I want to know. When will this boy learn? When he's in a yellow or orange prison suit in a really disgusting, hot, sweaty prison? And he says he doesn't like having anybody around him in his incarceration. He's going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of people around him eventually. How is he going to deal with that? Moron. Yeah, moron. Master Puppet says Thursday morning is the only time the Social Security Department is open at the embassy in Manila. It's easier to call their toll free number. So make note of that. Make a note of it, people. Make a note of it. You too can participate in this drama, and you wouldn't be telling a lie. Don't worry. Smoke ain't cleared yet. I'll make sure he ain't getting his Social Security disability. See how long she stays with him, and see how long he can survive without that Social Security disability. He's totally illegal on this. You cannot collect your disability and live in another country. Nope. Moron. Why don't you like looking up things, moron? Why don't you look that up? I actually had it in front of me. It's actually on my. I got a screenshot. If I'm not on my laptop, so I can't show you it. I turned 17 and 18 in a cell, but life does get better. For some, not for all. But yeah, he's totally illegal receiving all these years. Can you imagine that if he loses that? And he will be made to, his troubles are just beginning. He's going to be made to pay back all that money he received in all those years. Wow. Just gets better and better for him, doesn't it? But hey, I'm just sitting back enjoying this. I will get a hold of them one way or the other, and I will let them know what's going on. John Blaze supposedly did it, but John Blaze is a lot of talk. I don't think John Blaze did anything, to tell you the truth. His Social Security would have been cut off by now. So he wants to play a little game with me. Hey, I like games. Not the kind you play, but he never plays with toys, though. What do you call an Xbox? I don't play with toys. I'm a real man. Well, take a look at yourself. You're just an empty shell, playing with your Xbox and your cell phone and your prison cell. Take a look at yourself. You're just an empty shell. Ladies and gentlemen, these are facts. He's going to lose his Social Security disability. I guarantee you it. What do you think about that, Quasimodo? Oh, wow. He's like you said, I'll use your words. I'm going to push it. I'm going to push it. Push it hard now. Dun, 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 dun. Push it hard now. Dun, 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 dun. Push it hard now. Yeah, you push it, I'll push it too. But you're not pushing my buttons, buddy. Istarahe says that he's in for a lot of bad news. He doesn't realize so many things. Oh my God, you're so right, sir. He's so absolutely ignorant. It's just incredible, his ignorance. Maybe he should be called Ignoramus. Igor for short. Well, I like that. Igor. Igor! Okay, I like that. Well, either one sounds good to me. God, he got so much shit against him. He keeps on putting shows on, attacking me while he's got these cases on him. Holy shit. How do you give a wake up call to somebody like him? He needs a wake up call. I don't know. Take a big siren and blast it in his ear to wake him up or something. Get some brain cells working. Get that synapse going. I don't know what it'll take. He doesn't realize what a position he's in. Because you know what? No matter what happens to me, drop dead, get deported, whatever, his case goes on. And any other evidence that's introduced in the second case, I mean, the boy is, if he thinks he's going out of his monkey ass mind now, can you imagine if he has to stay where he is a little bit longer, probably much longer, and if he has to go to a prison for said amount of time, he's not going to make it. They'll have to send him to the loony bin if they have one in the Philippines. I'm sure they probably do. What's that? Mr. Isturaya. I never know how to pronounce that. I do believe that's his motion of reconsideration. That his motion of reconsideration has expired. Oh yeah. He also say he had a sweet deal. He only had to pay, negotiated 120, and he didn't do that. Well, he's not working on all six cylinders. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have a full deck of cards. When you're dealing with people like that, they're extremely ignorant people. If nobody knew better, and I'm not calling him this, I'm saying by his own demonstration, if you didn't know anything that was going on and you listened to his channel, you would think the guy was mentally retarded. Or borderline personality disorder, or, oh, I could, a whole bunch of different shit. Autistic, a form of autism or something. Well, he's the man that don't like to follow the law. He doesn't like authority. He doesn't want to follow the rules. And I love what he was. Oh, I love what he was saying the other day on his show. You want to hear what he's saying? I'll remind you. I'll tell you. Facebook and YouTube, you have freedom of speech. He said you could say whatever you want on Facebook and YouTube. Wow. Where does he get that information from? If he could get away and say whatever he wants, he wouldn't have 5 charges, criminal charges against him. What a dumb motherfucker this guy is. I mean, seriously. But Facebook is even worse, I think, in some ways. You can't say what you want. What you want. I mean, look where it got him. Look, look, look. Look where it got him. He never heard of community guidelines. He probably can't read it. He could be inbred. I don't know, man. Anything's possible. 2 different eye colors. I don't know. Is that an indicator? I don't know. Yeehaw. Yep, yep. I don't know. Oh, yeah, man. If he lost his Social Security, his girlfriend's out. She's out the picture, out the door. Get out the back, Jack. Never look back. You know? Oh, yeah. She'd be long gone. There has to be some redeeming value about him, such that he makes Social Security money to stay with somebody like him. But yeah, we're gonna pound the pavement with this one. So should you guys. Get a hold of Social Security. You know, he wants to play that little game. I'm not playing games though. What John Blaze claimed he did, I don't think he did. Because I did read that, and it was just this morning that I read this. In fact, because I'm always reading something, I learn about the law out here. I know a little bit about it. No expert, but I know enough to understand how it works. He should never have been receiving his Social Security disability all these years. Administration, if you are going to leave the country and you're only allowed, I think, a short period of time to collect that, you could lose your disability if you move out of the country if you're on a disability. So, in other words, he's been illegally accepting, boy, he just breaks the law left and right, right and left. He is a train wreck, a complete train wreck. Complete train wreck. How does he live with his ignorance? I don't understand. How does he know the difference between a toilet bowl and a corner of the wall? I mean, how does he know his ass from his fucking elbow? That's how dumb this motherfucker is by his own demonstration. No disclaimer. None. I've been around 7 decades, man. 7 fucking decades. I never met anybody dumber than this guy. Never. Never. That's my opinion. I've never, ever. When I was a little kid, I used to hang around with Bobby, and he was mentally retarded. Not extreme, but he was mentally retarded. He had more knowledge and understanding and a grasp on his own emotions and his thoughts than this guy does. And he was officially mentally retarded. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write out something tonight, put it on my draft, on the email, and I'm also have to abide by the time zone and actually call up an office. I got all his information, and I'm exactly what I'm going to do. There's like as far as a telephone, there's like a 12-hour difference on phone. So, for example, if it's 12 and, for example, if it's 6 o'clock in the morning here, it'll be like getting close to 6 p.m. in Washington, D.C. or New York, whatever. So just find an appropriate time to actually call them. I'll call them on my Skype. It's all right. Works 2 ways there, Quasimodo. Works 2 ways, but I'm not illegal with my Social Security, bro. I'm not illegal at all. They know I'm not living in the country. And besides, it's also Social Security. You're allowed. But the difference is a disability check, which is like a welfare check in the United States. Especially with the Trump administration, the guy that he wanted to vote for, who claims that he voted in the Philippines, which is impossible. Another lie. How many times can he make a fool of himself? Oh, we're still counting how many times. We haven't counted all his past lies. That would take months to do the calculation and extreme note taking, which nobody's done that. But yeah, we're going to definitely call the Social Security Administration on that. Absolutely. Did I listen to Nico's show? Stillman coming to the Philippines is bullshit. I don't know. I don't think he's doing good with his bitcoins. It took a big dip, I heard. I think he lost money again. Stillman. All fucking losers. They all band together at the bars. Perfect. Perfect. When Ricky gets together with all the butt heads and all that, it's just a perfect scenario. Perfect environment. No, I haven't really. I don't listen to Nico's show on any regularity whatsoever. Yeah, Sand says that I hate liars, bummers' own words. I know, isn't that amazing that he would make that statement? The king of all liars making a statement, the hypocrisy, that he hates liars when he is the king, the crowned, jeweled king of chronic lying. That's rich. Yeah, Master Puppet says Bitcoin is down 20%. If Drew had 1 million, he lost 200,000. Aw, poor baby. I don't get involved with that shit. People get greedy and then, oh well. It's a gamble. Like anything else, it's a gamble. I don't know if I believe either one of them. Maybe Jay got involved with that. My understanding is that Jay does work hard, though. He works in construction. I think he's an equipment operator or something. Would that be the truth? I could at least say about Jay, and I'm not very fond of him, that as far as I know, he works, unless it's something different. That's another lie, too, but he works for his money. These other people, they don't know what fucking work is. Sand says Nico shows the number 13th most popular lawn care podcast on YouTube. Rebel Yell! Yeehaw! Rebel Yell. I'd rather have Barry's Rebel Yell, Hillbilly Rebel Yell. That's unique. That's unique. I got to record it sometime and make a loop of it. It's all he talks about. He doesn't talk about anything. It's kind of, he just puts it out. I'm a good family man. I take care of my kids and spend time with the baby, my girl's baby, my sister's baby, and da 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 da, his daughter's baby, whatever. Talks about his lawn. It looks like shit. And he's constantly going to these Home Depot places, whatever. He's spending tons of money on lawn for, but he did it the last time. And his grass turned out, it was all browned out. It was all fucking dead. But when you got that much time on your hand and you don't have a girlfriend, what are you going to do? Make love to your lawn. Commit to nature, I guess, The Best and Brightest says it's the 98th most popular show for recovering drug addicts and deadbeat dads. There you go. There you go, buckaroo. I am a woman in love. God, I got that song in my mind because they use these shows all the time. Oh, bad news. Gene Hackman died. Mysterious death of him and his woman and dog, German Shepherd, found in different parts of the room. Gene Hackman has passed away. They are investigating. They could have been dead days or weeks. And I forgot where he was living, but that's been all over the news. Gene Hackman has passed away. And they don't see any foul play. Nothing was missing. They did find with the woman in the bathroom where she was there was an open bottle of pills, but they have to finish their testing. And I don't think there was anything going on with him. There are no marks on the body. The dog is even dead. It's a very suspicious death. Gene Hackman, folks. Gene Hackman. Yeah, that's the news of the day here. Gene Hackman is dead. He was like 94 years old. Pretty close to death anyway, but very suspicious circumstances. And the coroner's office is working on this. The police department's working on this. There are no clues yet to the death. And the coroner has to do a lot of studies on blood work and testing and so forth. There are no marks on the bodies. It doesn't seem to be any foul play. It's the number one reason I live on the beach, zero grass. Oh, when I lived in Hawaii, I had, oh God, even the front of the house I had to do. I didn't mind it though. I didn't have a huge lawn, so it wasn't a big deal to do my lawn. It was part Bermuda and part rag grass, whatever, But it looked okay, so it didn't bother me. Yeah. Gene Hackman, dead at 94. Suspicious deaths. Him, it's either his wife or long-term partner or girlfriend, whatever, and his German Shepherd dog. And they are really looking into this matter. That's the news in Hollywood anyway. Gene Hackman, great actor. What is the story behind that? Wow. Just heard that recently. But yeah, I'm going to definitely, what I got to lose? He's inciting a lot worse on YouTube, inciting others to kill me, harm me. Now, what he did on his show, he just can't stop burying himself. He's giving people directions to my house, pulling up a map on Google. He doesn't stop. I mean, maybe he's into self-punishment. Sand says if you talk too much about your lawn in Hawaii, Nico will open the lube bottle. Yeah, he's telling people where I live like they don't know, but I mean, it's one mistake after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. This guy should be declared legally insane because that's what he's acting like. That's what he is demonstrating to all his viewers. You saw his Facebook thing, what he said on there? That's on camera, that's for sure. You think I hold on to that stuff? No, no, no. It goes out to various agencies. Like the minute I see something like that, it's out there. It's out there. Well, we're going to do our best to do it because you have to introduce evidence, and sometimes you need a motion, file a motion. His lawyer hasn't done shit. I don't care who his lawyer is or what he claims they're into immigration. They haven't done a goddamn thing. Not a goddamn thing. But he's got that second case still hanging over his head at the moment. It all happens. It's going to depend on what happens with a resolution from immigration. Then I'm going to let loose all the way on that one. And he'll be paying the price for a long, 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 long time. What do you think about that, folks? Yeah, best and brightest, death threats, telling his viewers to take you out, not showing your home address. And Mr. Coward, he doesn't want to show up in court. He goes, I'm not showing up in court. You talk about cowards. You call me a coward all the time. I show up every time. Listen, Quasimodo, you get your little coward ass, your fat ass, which is actually quite large these days. Stop being a coward and go to court. Stop hiding. Afraid to face me? You're always saying you want to face me and kick my ass. Well, why don't you do that in the courtroom? I dare you. Better yet, why don't you show up in a courtroom? Just show up. Master Puppet says, I just can't believe the BI lets him get away with this. He's making them look like a joke. Exactly. And that's beautiful. It's poetry, man. It's poetry in motion. You think they don't know about what he's been saying about him? I've sent it to their investigation unit. All that shit. DOJ, DOJ cybercrime, the DOJ itself, which is connected with all these offices. Absolutely. They have all that material. This will wind up somehow in court. And it'll have to do with any leniency or not that they're going to show on him. I'll guarantee you one thing. I'll guarantee, as they say in the South, guarantee in Louisiana, his outing of this country is going to be a permanent blacklist. His back hump holds more water than a camel's. See the beauty in this. There's beauty in all this. It doesn't matter what happens to me. It doesn't matter, even what they do in the court. I mean, the beauty of this, with everything above mentioned and everything he's done, knocking the embassy, knocking the immigration, death threats to me, everything he's done, he will never be able to get back into this country ever again. So once he's deported, that is the end of him, other than him putting on more YouTube shows from America, if he'll be able to afford the internet fees, because he's going to be too busy trying to fight his way out of the felony that he has on him in America. Bench warrants on top of that, and the felonies have to do it over not paying his child support X amount of years and X amount of dollars. He is so fucked in so many ways. He likes fucking, right? Well, he's going to like getting fucked over by this immigration officer. He's in this court, and he's going to like getting fucked over when he gets transported. That's my show. Gonna call the Social Security, man. 100% for sure. You're gonna lose your Social Security disability. It's illegal. What you're doing, it's illegal. It's illegal. Government spending and efficiency. Well, this is one good example here. If you are from the States, and when you're a working person, or if you still are, you want to see your tax dollars go for the right purpose. Isn't that what the Trump administration is trying to do? But when somebody's been collecting a false disability for how many years, it's taxpayers' money. It's taxpayer. Let's just narrow it down to $500 a month. Let's just use that figure. How many years has he been collecting that phony Social Security? Because there ain't nothing wrong with his back. As I said many times, if he could ride a motorcycle 100 miles, if he could have a girl on his lap and screw a girl on his lap, there's nothing wrong with his back. Nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. Wasteful government spending on somebody who is using the system and abusing the system for sure. Now, it's very convenient for him to say, I'm not receiving it. Well, I don't want to get into a whole scenario with that again, except to say that he's buying his grab food somehow. Governmental, wasteful spending. Do you remember what he said? That you'll see when I get back to the States, I'm going to go on welfare. He said, I'm going to get food stamps. Oh, yeah, he said that. I'm going to get Section 8 housing. He doesn't give a fuck. He's been leeching off the American people for how many years? He's been leeching off people on YouTube for how many years? Think about this. How do you label an undesirable? Well, give you his full name. You know? There's a definition for undesirable. He fits that description. He's been sucking off government money illegally. Hey, I got the x-rays to prove my situation. Anytime, just ask me. Can he prove? He's always asking for proof of something. Can he prove that he has a genuine disability and what it is based on? That he can't. His issue is more mental, not physical. It's not physical. I will tell you that. I mean, obviously so. I mean, listen to him. Does that kind of give you a clue? Any clue at all? No, because when he left the United States, he was collecting this money. Illegal. He's got a bank account in America that he's using it from. That's the collection depot. And he never formally told them that he was moving out of the United States when he did. He didn't do that. I'll guarantee you he didn't do that. So don't forget to call up your nearest friendly Social Security Administration in America and tell them what's going on, that he's presently incarcerated on top of that. And my understanding, if you're incarcerated, also you cannot collect Social Security disability and being in another country. So he's got that against him. He's got bench warrants. He's got probably felony charges for non-payment of child support. And look how well he's doing in this country. Enough said.